Welcome to the Monday Night Wars, Raw, where we discuss the Raw side of things of the Monday Night Wars. Friday is the Nitro side. If you're more inclined to watch that, that'll be tomorrow. But keep watching this if you are watching it. Or stop now, whatever, it doesn't matter, view's a view. Anyway, thank you for stopping in. I am your host, the King of Smart Style, a.k.a. the Notorious M.I.K.E., a.k.a. the Sensual Swami of the Squared Circle, a.k.a. the face the women love and the men envy, the near-fall narcissist himself, the King of Nerds. Parents, don't let your kids watch this. Kids, sneak and watch it. So let's crack into it, guys. We're here. It's October 2nd, 1995, the first Raw of October of 1995. The first Raw of the first October of the first 1995. We're a couple weeks out from the In Your House pay-per-view. We got another one coming up in another few weeks. They're just like starting to just get in the flow of these monthly pay-per-views here. This is the genesis, if you will, of the monthly pay-per-view schedule. So we've got our normal commentary team of Vince and Lawler. A good commentary team. Not great. Not J.R. Lawler in their prime. But Vince was an underrated commentary analyst. So we got a decent team here. We open right away with a match. It's Razor Ramon versus the 1-2-3 Kid. If you have been keeping up with these videos here that I do, these two are having a little tiff, a little lover's quarrel, if you will. The Kid feels like Razor doesn't respect him. Razor probably doesn't respect him. Razor wins basically just like a squash. Just like trounces the fucking Kid. Quick squash, wins with a clothesline. So the Kid gets up and he's like, nah, this is bullshit. I want another match. Let's start this over. So they started over, and okay, they started over. It's weird. Vince has to explain they started over, by the way. Like, Vince has to explain. He's like, the Kid's saying that he wants another match. Like, if you were in the arena watching this, you probably had no fucking clue what was going on. But the ref's like, whatever, fucking. They don't even ring the bell or anything to start another match. It's super weird. So they start another match. Kid loses this time to a fucking... He goes for a Hurricane Rana. Gets countered into a massive power bomb for the pin. Kid gets up. He wants another fucking match. Razor goes for Razor's Edge. He won't do it. Rolls the Kid up in a small package because you know they're buddies. He's not going to give him the fucking Razor's Edge. The crowd, however, has bloodlust. And they need it satiated. They need the bloodlust satiated. They start chanting, Edge, 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 Edge. They want the fucking Razor's Edge. Razor's like, whoa, man, I'm a good guy right now, guys. Holy shit. A Kid tries to get like a fucking quick roll-up real fast. Razor kicks out of him. He's like, what the fuck are you doing, man? Come on. So they end up shaking hands and hugging. It seems that this is taken care of for the time being. I don't think it is. I think it actually keeps going. I guess we'll find out next week. Now you got a reason to tune in, Gina. After that, we got Barry Horowitz versus Hunter Hearst Helmsley, who is currently undefeated. And before the match even starts, holy shit, WWF, crazy idea. Holy shit, I can't believe they did this. So, it is the night before the O.J. Simpson verdict. And they have a hotline set up for you to call in at 50 cents a call and vote whether you think he's going to be guilty or not guilty. And they're going to give us the results at the end of the show, which I'm going to give to you at the end of the show. See, what we call that here in the fucking wrestling commentary business, call that a hook. What I've done is I've hooked you. And now, I'm going to reel you in until the end of the show so I can give you the results of the OJ hotline vote. But this is madness. Like, could you, like, they would never do this nowadays. Could you imagine if, like, oh, fuck. I don't know. What was, like, a big celebrity? I don't know. There's nothing comparable to this. There's nothing comparable. This would be like if Peyton Manning murdered his wife. And the day before the verdict, they were like, hey, you know, go ahead and text us, tweet us. Let us know what you think, like who's guilty. We're going to run a poll amongst WWE fans. I will tell you this, what I thought was like gonna happen here with this poll did not happen at all. Frankly, it was quite the opposite. Also, the calls exclude the West Coast. When Lawler asked Vince why, Vince's exact words were, well, they may just be too close to it. So they don't even want the fucking opinion of the West Coast. They're like, fuck the West Coast up the butt. We want to hear nothing of what you have to say. Basically, I feel like they were like, I don't know, man. And just kind of like, if you lived in the area and had an opinion on this, they didn't give a shit about you. They don't care what you have to say. So, meanwhile, while all this fucking OJ madness and Vince saying they're too close to it, black people on the West Coast, that's what they're doing here. Let's not be dumb. They're excluding West Coast black people. That's what this was. This was a racist move. This was they're too close to it. That means we don't want the people that are passionate about this, black people, voting. So, sweet racist move here by Vince McMahon. Low-key, no one even noticed it. Also, I'd like to point out that there were multiple dudes in the audience wearing fucking flannel shirts tucked in. And everybody knows that motherfuckers that tuck a flannel shirt in are the most fucking hillbilly of hillbillies. So Vince really knew what was going on with his audience here. Or so he thought. So, in the midst of all this OJ and racism, there's actually pretty good... Oh, yeah, hold on. By the way, Vince loves low-key racism, Mr. Vest. Yes, Vince does love low-key racism. So also, after we get done with the OJ and the racial madness, Vince then goes on to add that the WWF is sponsoring a charity event for disabled children in Madison Square Garden this weekend, and it just so happens that the Pope is going to be visiting New York City. So WWF has extended an invitation to the Pope to come to the charity event at Madison Square Garden. And Vince says, he actually says, I wrote it down so I could get it right. He says, we're hopeful he can rearrange his schedule and make it. Like, what the fuck? The fucking Pope. Like, he's just gonna rearrange whatever he's got going on that day and just, like, show up at a fucking house show. Granted, it's a Madison Square Garden charity show, but it's a fucking glorified house show. And just gonna like, hey, what's up, man? I'm here to see Diesel fucking give someone a jackknife powerbomb. Yeah, because, well, like, who would the Pope even root for? They got rid of Friar Ferguson. You ain't gonna root for him. It doesn't matter who the Pope would root for. Pope would root for fucking Shawn Michaels because he's the greatest in-ring performer of all time. Raul Solanke. Hello. Welcome. So, Vince invites the Pope to, not even like WrestleMania. Like, here's the thing, the Pope can't even fucking, like, in your house, 4 is coming up, you can't toss the motherfucker, hey, we'll get you, like, rinks, we'll get you camera side, opposite camera side, dead center ringside for in your house. No, you're like, hey, Pope, come to a fucking house show at Madison Square Garden, which probably would have been a pretty dope fucking house show, admittedly, but it's a fucking house show. So amidst all this Pope, OJ, low-key racism, Hunter Hearst Helmsley and Barry Horowitz have a phenomenal match. A really, really good match. Hunter is showing flashes of brilliance, and you can see that the future star, the future 14-time heavyweight champion of the world, second leader of DX, fucking leader of Evolution, the King of Kings. You can see it all there. It's bubbling under the surface and it's ready to fucking blow. It's ready to blow, man, like a fucking teenage boy that's been getting dry humped for 15 minutes. Ready to fucking blow. Triple H wins his pedigree, remains undefeated. From there, we've got a little interesting thing here. There's WWE. You don't ever see this. They don't ever do like cross-promotion bullshit anymore. back in the day, WWF used to do like cross promotion stuff with ECW and some other like guys here and there. So right now we've got the USWA Tag Team Champions, PG-13. So if you're not familiar with PG-13, PG-13 are like they're like these like super white dudes, but they're like hood. They're like, yo, what up, man? Tell you what, dog, we really gonna get out here and we gonna take you out in the ring, dog. We came here from the USWA, defending the USWA Tag Team Champions. Coming in here to take a shot at the WWF Champion, Tag Team Champions, smoking guns. We coming for you, dog. We from the hood. They literally said twice, because we're from the hood. Like, get the fuck, I'll fuck up both these kids, man. Put me in a room with both these dudes. Both of them, same time. I'll fuck both these cats up. Like, I don't give a shit. Like, oh, fuck. Basically, Public Enemy. Nah, man. Like, Public Enemy. Okay, here's the difference. Public Enemy, basically, kinda, yeah. Public Enemy, I feel like, would fuck me up if I got in their face. Like, legitimately. If I, like, Rocco Rock or, like, whatever the other one's name was. If I was like, hey, fuck you, bitch, they'd be like, oh, no, fuck you, bitch, and they, like, legitimately, they would beat me up. These two guys, I feel like if I was like, hey, shut up, bitch, if I was at a bar and they were, like, annoying me and I was like, hey, shut up, bitch, they'd be like, sorry, sir. So, we got these guys, and they're taking on, the stunning, amazing, death-defying, courageous, Sonny Rogers and Al Brown. Sonny Rogers and Al Brown. Really setting the bar high for PG-13 here. So, they're coming out, taking on Sonny Rogers and Al Brown. I always hated these fucking guys. Not Sonny Rogers and Al Brown. I have no personal beef with them. They're terrible wrestlers. They're probably decent enough guys. PG-13. I always hated these guys. I always hated guys like this. And I still hate guys like this, and I still hate PG-13. PG-13 wins with a squash. Like, and this is a huge squash. Like, as it fucking should have been, by the way. By the by. It should have been a fucking squash. With like an assisted splash, like, the dude came off, you know, when motherfuckers help throw him down and splash. So anyway, that's what they won with, and it was a match. That brings us to our main event of the night. Well, technically the main event of the night is the OJ verdict, isn't it, really? That's what the WWF universe thinks about the OJ verdict, aside from the West Coast. But isn't that really the main event? I mean, it technically is. But the main, in between there, it's noted that for next week, this is actually kind of like sweet, because like I'm pretty excited for this. Next week, our main event, since last week, we had some issues with motherfuckers jumping the Undertaker, and then Shawn and Diesel came out to save him. Yoko, Owen, Bulldog there, all jumping the Undertaker. Taker was laid out. Two dudes with attitude came out to save him. We got a six-man tag main event next week for Raw. We got the two dudes with attitude, your WWF Heavyweight Champion of the World, Diesel, and the Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels, the greatest in-ring performer of all time, the showstopper, Mr. WrestleMania himself, the Intercontinental Champion, and the Phenom, the Undertaker, taking on Yokozuna, Owen Hart, and the British Bulldog. I'm fucking pumped, guys. Get excited. Get fucking excited. If you you're not like hard, if you don't have like a half chub, if you're like a half chub from that, then get the fuck off here, man. You're watching the wrong show. Like, I got full wrestling wood. I'm excited. This match is inevitably going to disappoint. So the main event is Bret the Hitman Hart versus Jean-Pierre Lafitte, a fucking pirate. That's his gimmick. His gimmick's a fucking pirate in 1995. Which is like about the only time that would ever, probably really ever be possible in wrestling. But he's a fucking pirate. Did they try a pirate after, like, the Pirates of the Caribbean movie took off? Anybody? Mr. Vest? So we've got this match again. This just happened in your house. don't say that they never repeated matches, because I've seen this match twice in like a week now. So, this match was infinitely better than the In Your House match. In Your House match, Cartoon Air Wrestling, Paul Burchill. Hey man, you know your stuff, dude. I like you. I like your style. I like the way you move. I like the way you speak. I want to be on you and you at the same time. Was the post Pirate of the Caribbean pirate? Ah, okay, cool. Ah, yeah. See, they always pick up on that shit. There's always like something, like if a Tarzan movie took off, best believe they'd have a fucking Tarzan character. Like, that's no joke. Best believe they would have a Tarzan character. So, Jean-Pierre Lafitte. This is a way better match. I feel like they kind of even probably went to Vince and were like, hey, let us do this over again. Because there's really no need for it. Like, Brett kind of, like, squashed this. Was done. This was actually a fucking really good match. Brett won with the sharpshooter, naturally. Post-match, Brett and Lawler start throwing hands. Isaac Yankem comes down, gives Brett the DDT on the outside. Vince is like, oh no, Brett's gonna remember this forever. He's gonna remember this night for the rest of his life. He probably doesn't. Not because he took like a blow to the head, but just like because probably like this dude worked like a million wrestling shows and they all probably just blur together. And the night that Isaac Yankem DDT'd him on the outside of the ring probably isn't gonna be a standout fucking memory for him. So, we go to commercial. We come back. We get promos from both sets of teams in the main event next week. Yoko with his mouth pieced. I saw a dentist and was saying peace at the same time I read dentist and we got pieced. Kane the dentist. That is true. Kane Diesel the dentist. So, we got Yoko with his mouthpiece, Jim Cornette, and he's out there like, tell you what, we're going to come at you and we're going to get you next week, motherfuckers. It's not going to happen no more. Yokozuna has had enough. With his fucking high-pitched voice, which isn't really as high-pitched as like we all may remember it. Owen does his usual like, oh, I'm Owen, you know, the same Owen Hart promo that he gave his entire career where he came out and made that face where he's like, I'm Owen. And then Bulldog was like, yeah, we don't got it out in the ring, we gonna wrestle with it. I want to bounce and I have muscles. And then we get one from Diesel, HBK, and Taker, where Taker's like, basically it's like Diesel is like, oh yeah, just, oh yeah, woo, too sweet, we're two dudes with attitude, and we're coming after you, because we rhyme, and we're cool, and Shawn Michaels is like, look at me, I'm just a sexy boy, and, we're really immature, and I'm like a year away from pointing at my dick all the time and showing my ass, and Undertaker's like, I don't fit in this promo. So, I'm excited. That's basically how this promos went. If that didn't get you excited for next week, I don't know what will. And then, finally, we get to the main event of the night. What does the WWF Universe think is going to happen in the OJ verdict tomorrow? We will find out. I remember this day. October 3rd, 1995. I was in 8th grade in junior high. I remember my teacher was like, yo, okay, we're not like having class right now. We're going to watch the OJ verdict. I was in algebra, and I remember my teacher, she turned. I remember being really happy because I fucking hate algebra. I'm not like a numbers guy. I'm a words and a wrestling guy and a comics guy, and you know, I play a little bit of fucking music here and there, a little bit of you know, jack of all trades guy. But like, I'm not a fucking numbers guy. So I remember being really happy that I didn't have to learn about like tangents and pi and whatever. I don't know if that's algebra. So this was like a huge deal. So, the WWF Universe, excluding the West Coast, black people. We got you, Vince. Excluding the West Coast, they voted 51% to 49%, OJ not guilty. I'm fucking mind blown. I'm fucking mind blown, people. I honest to God thought in 1995 the WWF fan base would vote heavily on the side that OJ was guilty. I'm not gonna lie. I really did. And I feel like Vince really did. He tried to skew the numbers here. But it didn't work. Truth comes out. Because OJ was found not guilty. By a jury of his peers. And the WWF universe believes they had not proved without a shadow of a doubt that OJ committed these murders. There you have it, people. That's it for the October 2nd, 1995 episode of Raw. Usually I give you the ratings. I just remembered that I forgot to look that up. Tune in for Nitro tomorrow. That's what we call a cliffhanger. That'll give you something to watch for. If the glove don't fit, you must have quit. That's true. That is true. Because it literally is true. It was the argument, and he got acquitted. It literally is true. If the glove don't fit, you must have quit. And they were like, oh, man, it rhymes. Could you imagine the deliberation where like one guy was like, I don't know, I've got some doubts here. I mean, the blood spatters in his Bronco and outside of his apartment, and just like one guy stand up and be like, sir, if the glove don't fit, you must acquit. What did you not get about the rhyme? And the other guy being like, all right, you're right. Not guilty. Not guilty. Not guilty. He totally did that, by the way. Yeah, he totally murdered that chick and that dude. Totally. Like, no doubts about it. No, at all, ifs, ands, or buts. He totally got away with murder. Totally did it. Anyway, so here at the Nearfall Network, we got a lot of stuff going on. Tune in Mondays for the high-fiving party. Pow, with the high-fiving a motherfucker. It's a good show. I said that like, it's a good show. I didn't mean it to come out like that. I was thinking about my words, and then that came out. I didn't. Great running back, though. One of the best. Okay, so I was watching the OJ show on FX. If you haven't watched the People vs. OJ Simpson, fucking phenomenal miniseries. I was watching it with my wife. My wife was like, why was this such a big deal? Like, was he good? And I was like, babe, he's like one of the greatest of all time. Like, there's an argument for him to be like, one of the the greatest of all time. I was like, this would be like a fucking Michael Jordan killed his wife. Like, she had no idea how big of a deal. Great fucking amazing football player. Psychopath fucking human being. So, high-five a motherfucker. He's got a great show where he talks all things Raw. Pow. High-five party. Check it the fuck out. Tuesday, I do basically the same thing that he does, except I do it for SmackDown and I do it just a little bit prettier. By a little bit, I mean prettier. Wednesday, we don't have anything for you yet. Maybe one day. Maybe we're working on things now. Maybe I just keep telling you we're working on things now to keep teasing you along. Like that girl in high school whose homework you did, even though you knew she didn't really like you. I'm not talking from personal experience. I was a G. I didn't get used by girls. Thursday, you're here right now. You were here last week. Be here next week. Friday, I do the Nitro side of this. So if you want to see what Nitro is competing with this week in the Monday Night Wars, tune in tomorrow and we'll see. I bet it's Mongo McMichael is going to say something funny and absurd. His dog is going to be dressed in a cute costume. Sting is going to be there. Going to be a lot of Hulk Hogan. And Dungeon of Doom. It's the dark period. It's pre-NWO. It's a bad time. But if you want to see, it's always funny. It's always a better show than this because they always give me much more comedy. And on Saturday, of course, my favorite wrestling podcast, and I listen to a lot of wrestling podcasts. And if you listen to this, I guarantee it'd be one of your favorite wrestling podcasts, Drive By with Shooter, with our own Shooter. Just Shooter. He doesn't have like a last name. It's just Shooter. Our own Shooter. It's not the shooter, a shooter, just shooter. Shooter. So check us out, guys. And as I always say at the end of all these, I love you guys and thank you for tuning in. I really appreciate it. Have a good week.